And we're back. It's Bluebird, your shoulder, our mouse. Kind of weird. Not totally though. Definitely a different kind of week. The Epstein files did get very much released. I guess there's more, but we got some millions of files. We've
Well,
seen some.
they released a total of 3 million documents, they're calling them,
Okay,
in photos, videos, and documentation like emails and things like that. But
millions.
yeah,
So okay, and then we've had some drastic changes in Minnesota. We've had some drastic changes in ICE in general. And then we had the rats jumping ship segment that we did not get to last week because I'm a long-winded motherfucker.
There was a
So
lot to talk about. There was a lot to
yeah,
talk
for
about.
sure. So we were going to start with that this week. So you can take it away, Bob.
All right. So basically, with tensions kind of rising across um, the military spectrum with Venezuela, Iran, and all of that, I kind of wanted to retouch on some of the subjects that we've talked about, as far as like the cuts that they're making, the budgets that they have, um, and things with the military, and then also kind of touching on, the upcoming midterms and the fact that there are a lot of Republicans that are either um, retiring, resigning, or stepping back from the federal level down into uh, governorships and stuff like that. So I found that there's 37 high-ranking military officials that have resigned in the past year alone, um, and this isn't planned retirements. This is either they step down amid you know conflict, or
as they have been forced out.
a
So
lot of them have been forced out. So you're seeing a lot of lost faith in their ability to lead, excuses, which basically just means that either they decided they wanted to step down, or the Pentagon is seeing that they disagree or are conflictive with some of the orders that they're being given, or the direction that they're being given missions for. And I know that there was three people, including one admiral, for the fleet that's in the Caribbean, that left, and all three of those were outside of the normal retirement strategy. Um, and
are
then,
are any of those early retirements? Could those be they lost the locker room type and they needed a new person to lead that unit?
well, so
Like,
in addition to that, we're also looking at a 20% reduction in troop strength. So they're revamping a lot of the military, the way that things are laid out, as far as brigade level organization, all the way down to the battalion level. So, and we're seeing it from active duty units all the way down to National Guard units as well. Um, so they're changing. They had traditional brigades with, four battalions, support, air, all that stuff for a regular army brigade, um, and then and then your special brigades for like mechanized and whatnots. And when we got into Iraq, they decided to reorg all of that, and they created brigade combat teams. So they're much smaller, more streamlined, easier to deploy. The thought process was to make it so that they would be faster to get boots on the ground and knock out these missions that aren't always, you know, full scale invasions and things like that. So they're doing it again, where they're trying to make it so that these organization levels can be broken apart and moved to where they're needed based on the mission, which allows specialized teams to be more flexible in who they deploy with, and they don't have to work so hard to borrow, beg, and steal for the right missions. But anyways, with that being a 20% reduction in troop strength, that leaves a lot of leadership positions that either don't need to be there anymore, or allows them to use the excuse that they don't need somebody as a way to push out leadership that maybe more focused on serving the Constitution instead of the president, things like that. And so that's a concern for me, is that with us having deployed active duty troops against U.S. citizens in America, the fact that I looked it up and I could not believe it, $500 million in just deploying active duty troops against U.S. citizens was spent last year. And that's not counting the National Guard deployments that they have supporting ICE, in the liberal cities that they're harassing people in. And and so my thought process was, with the midterms and what people are speculating, as far as trying to bully the midterm election, with ICE agents at polling sites, the possible federalization of troops in order to basically reduce turnout so that they can catch some of these seats that they're about to lose. And then I wanted to look at the midterms and who exactly we are going to be losing. Right. There are 11 senators, 44 House Republicans that they will be leaving their current posts. So
is that including I think I don't know if it was, I saw it today and it said something about, I don't know if it was 25 more GOP are leaving early, or is that including the ones that have already announced?
So this is total as of right now. There's 27 retiring, 14 running for governor, and 10, or I'm sorry, and 10 that are trying to step up. So they're trying to step into Senate positions instead of House.
Okay, so what happens with them if they don't win the Senate? Do they just reassume their House seat, or
No, if that seat is up for election, that they don't, and they're not running for that seat, then they'll have somebody else run in their stead. So but it also depends. If their seat isn't up for election, then at that point
they can?
then they would just resume back. So
I wonder how many of those seats in the GOP are in towns that the Democrats recently have been overperforming in, or are like battleground counties.
I think that we're kind of half and half from what I was looking at before. And again, some of this stuff is kind of old in my mind because I had it prepped for last week. So I wasn't even able to look up all of the websites that I had for stuff last week. Let's see. So we got 4 from Texas.
Yeah, but Texas.
Huh?
So we just won 2 seats in Texas. So I mean,
yeah. So Texas could end up going very, very purple again. And I think that this whole ICE move is going to contribute a lot to that because, especially with the Supreme Court giving them carte blanche to um, harass based on nationality, sex, and just the way that you speak. You
Yeah,
know.
I did see that since California was approved to redistrict to kind of offset Texas, that 6 other states have now applied.
I haven't.
It didn't name what states, but it said that there were 6 other states that were going to try to gerrymander before the election.
I haven't heard anything about any official
Yeah,
announcements that way.
Maryland's the only one I know of trying to re-up, but their court said no, and they're trying to
Yeah.
like appeal that. That's the only one I've heard of so far. They're asking states to do it, but there's not enough time.
right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like like a lot of that has to be like set in stone very soon,
Yeah, because
Yeah.
so you can get the ballots and you can get the.
you got to think in another month or two we're going to start seeing campaign
Yep.
ads or
You're already seeing
yeah,
campaign. Oh, ads, not ads, not ads.
Yeah.
No,
you'll start seeing
man,
the things, when the ground unthaws in March or April, there'll be signs out in everybody's yards and shit, TV
Yep.
ads, all that. It within the next couple of months it's going to be full go.
Yeah. Um, yeah, so then we have like some Nebraska, Iowas, and Alabama. You got the ones stepping down to run for governor. We got New York, Arizona, Wisconsin, South Carolina, South two,
You said
man. What's that?
you said Iowa.
Iowa was one of them that was stepping up, trying to go for from House to Senate.
Did you see
Um,
he had some type of event in Iowa trying to basically tout a robust economy, and they booed him off the stage?
yeah, yeah, yeah. We're sick of the
Of Iowa,
lies. Yeah.
of Iowa.
Yeah. Well, I
so
mean, Iowa's been kind of a mixed bag over the years. So
yeah,
recently they've been very red, but
yeah. So I think there's a lot of operatives out there that say like absolute blowout scenario. It's like 255 to 260 in the House and 55 to 58 in the Senate, um, which isn't filibuster proof in the Senate,
right,
and it also isn't confirming impeachment. It's not enough.
right, right. Yeah, so it's going to take
So
some Republicans breaking rank.
right. So,
So,
but there are some operators saying it will be a like once in a lifetime historical. And I think what you're saying about Iowa, and then we saw in the Georgia special, we saw in the Texas special, and the most recent Texas special, a Democrat won.
That and
yeah,
that Trump won
Uh,
by 15%.
yeah,
I
and had
think
it and hasn't gone blue in what, like 50 years or more? Yeah.
91.
91 years? Yeah.
Nine, no,
Yeah.
91,
Oh,
1991.
1991. I gotcha.
So not since
So
91,
so
but yeah, like for
Clinton,
almost 5 decades, almost 5 decades.
yeah.
It hasn't went to a blue, um, and Trump won it by like 22 points, I think, with that district. You said 17. I thought it was
There,
22 in that
there,
district.
well, one of the two I know he had won by 17%, and then
So
one
yeah,
that in
so that just happened, right? And so I'm seeing a lot of consistency in double digit swings, starting with a two in elections since the general. Like even the ones where Republicans still maintain the seat in specials, it went from Trump winning the district by 26 points to them winning the seat by a point.
right.
It's still a 25-point swing to the left.
Yeah.
Now they are starting to say a lot of um, it's because it's specials and it's low turnout, and I don't think I think the base is fractured, not fracturing.
Yeah, but typically in low turnout, the Republicans do better.
They
Democrats
do.
turnout.
But MAGA's low propensity voters, so
And you
uh,
have enough reasonable Republicans that are shutting their mouths right now, and so they won't be as um forthcoming to get out and vote. They don't want to be
And
identified as
well,
a
yeah, I wonder if
pedophile supporter.
it's going to have the same effect like you were saying last year, where there's a lot of wives that were voting that way and not
Yeah.
something. Is it going to have the adverse effect this time around because the shit's going on that, I mean, we tried to tell them,
Yep.
but now they're seeing it and it's worse than what we imagined. And so now they're still registered as that and they're voting the other way,
Mm-hmm.
so I mean, maybe it's one of those where it's going to be, finally enough is enough. Cause I mean, his base is absolutely fractured over these files and other things. I mean, I've seen plenty of MAGA coming out saying like, we're done.
I have seen a lot of that. Truly, so I have seen a lot of that. That they're for variant reasons. So one of the big transitions, he just did an interview on, I don't know who he was with, I can't remember, but it was him and Vance, right? Vance did his one-on-one, and then Trump did his one-on-one, and Trump did openly say that he's not going to go send ICE into any more states where the governors and the mayor don't want them. So ultimately, at the end of the day, like they're mad about it. Like, we want all the people, right? So, but well, you were getting American citizens murdered. So it's not really a thing you want to do. And there is a political aspect of this. So his people are telling him the right thing. This is fucking costing us across the board.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, and so stop doing it. They don't want it. Like, your people only make up this little section. The majority of Americans do not want this. I think a majority of Americans were good with, I'm going to go get all the criminals.
Right.
I think they were. And I think if that's what you were doing,
Right.
that you probably wouldn't have this. But what you are actually doing is getting people going to work, getting grandmas, walking the dude out of his fucking house in his underwear, right? Taking the 5-year-old,
Yeah.
murdering American citizens in the street, shooting multiple other ones that you didn't murder. Um, you're doing it very brown shirt Gestapo style, where it's literally pull you over and show me your papers. And you're not doing it well.
Right.
Your numbers are bad. A majority of their numbers are self-deports.
Oh yeah.
Like they do have a large number, but it's a vastly self-report. And now it's the numbers came out. 92% of all people that have been actually deported are not criminal.
Are not criminals. Yeah. Don't have
That's
any.
right. That
and
this
and
isn't it.
and a lot of them were doing it the right way. Like they're picking up people that are going to their hearings, that are going to their check-ins. They're doing things the right way. They're rejecting people who have filed for asylum and that were granted asylum. So like, yeah, it's not anything like what he tried to make it out to be, just like we knew that it wasn't. um but
But yeah, and I
now
think,
it's really evident.
well, and the optics are fucking horrible.
Oh yeah.
And now you have fucking Bondi, so the DA, right? The Attorney General, the AG. You have Cash Patel's weird looking ass.
Incompetent.
You have the president himself, and you have, I forget who else actually did it. now saying people shouldn't have fucking guns.
Yeah.
And the 2A people are fucking like, what the fuck? No way, bro. Because the 2A people are 2A people.
Yeah.
It's not a political, it's not a red or blue thing.
Right.
It's a these guns are mine thing.
Yeah.
And I'm allowed
But
to have them.
the red just panders to them.
Mm-hmm.
And
Correct.
Stokes their very, very, very real paranoia.
Yeah.
Right. But like
It's
you said, so I
the first
think
American history that the NRA is broke with a Republican president.
because you can't in our history for
Right.
sure in our lifetime, absolutely. So but no, so the midterms are in they which they've already been in trouble, now they're in deep doo-doo, to where like this historical 265 seats where we flip deep red districts and 60 plus filibuster proof senate seats could happen
Yeah.
if the elections leading to the midterms are telling me anything, plus the defection. I don't think they're going to go vote for Democrats, but I think they're not going to go vote. You have Epstein defections. You
Yeah.
have now you're going to have defections because you're not going to go into the sanctuary cities and get the people. So now they're
Right.
pissed off. Um, because you sent Holman in, who is actually a political genius and is doing it correct. Like, no, we're going to go back to doing this the way I deported more people for Obama than anybody ever. We're going to
Yeah.
go get those people and we're going to go get all these criminals and we're going to get them the fuck out of here.
Right.
So, and
Well,
you know,
I don't know if there really are that many criminals to go and get. That's the thing. Like, you
well, I
know.
don't either, but then I see amnesty coming after midterms.
Yeah.
So, but then he openly, I don't, I do. I see amnesty coming after midterms. I see
Really?
him. I've never thought he was smart. I think he's an idiot savant and he's good at what he's good at, right? He talks well. Um, he games extremely well.
Mhm.
But I the one thing is he wants everybody to love him. That narcissism has to be fed. And I
Yeah.
think he realizes, okay, I'm listening to the Millers and the Bannons and the Gnomes again, like I did early in the first term, and I'm getting the same result. The whole country fucking hates me.
Right.
And they're protesting me, and now kids are walking out of schools at massive rates. Like it's happening, dude. It's such a like all the kids are walking out of schools on separate days, and the people are all mad, and I'm having to actually like out myself in my community. Like,
Well, and it's so bad that he was going to go to the Super Bowl this weekend, but his advisors told him not to because they were worried that he would get booed out of the building on national television. Well, for one,
it's in San Francisco.
Yeah.
I mean, if there was ever a headquarters for the alphabet community, that would be it. But you're also a very blue city and state.
No,
Yeah,
it'd be a bad place for him. But I think it's that, right? It's not gonna they're not gonna feed his narcissism, right? And that's he can't do that. And he's gonna move back the other way, just like he did in his first term. And then people are gonna get mad at it. But I think that like you went too far in fascism this time. Like you went because Bannon and Miller, I've always stated since the beginning of this pod
yeah.
that it's not him, it's those two fucks. So
Yeah.
who have openly admitted to being fascist
I
and white nationalists.
Miller
Right?
since he was at Duke,
I
10, 15.
fully aware. It's
So
like 25 years ago, bro. It's
hasn't
been a
been.
long time. We're old, dude. So but yeah, so like down here, I'll put that like they're marching and like my little community group, whatever. They're all like they aren't allowed to do that and they aren't allowed to do this. And I mean, I put a very respectable post up for me for sure. Because it is a community he goes to school in and such, right? And I was like, look, you don't have to agree with them. You don't. But you do have to agree with their right to do it. Like the First Amendment is so unbelievably absolute that they put it first.
Yeah.
And the First Amendment's so unbelievably absolute, they kicked off the Revolutionary War with a protest.
Yeah.
And the First Amendment is so like there's a lot of reasons like and they're like no they should be it should be allowed and they should be expelled from school and they should be so at the very end the only part I think I really upset people I'm like so are you loyal to a country or a party?
Right.
Well, yeah,
Because
because
I'm loyal to a country,
it
not a
was just
party.
a few years ago that he was trying to sue what social media platform that they were trying to censor him on because it was violating the First Amendment.
Yeah.
But now because it's, not convenient for
Some
them anymore, they're flipping to the other side.
Yeah.
I'm still hearing conservatives say, why is my First Amendment being infringed on? I saw a veteran, a Marine, ex-Marine doing that just today on Facebook on one of the veteran sites that I'm on. So
Hmm.
they're the propaganda there is still that, they're the victims, that they're the ones being persecuted.
Of course it is.
Yeah. Most victimized group of
They're the
I'm
most
so
insecure
tough.
people on the planet, bro.
Hmm.
They're the hardcore MAGA people are the most insecure, afraid of the boogeyman, terrified, support the guy who poops in his pants because they poop in it too. And like it's weird. It's weird. Like so okay, so if you truly lack the IQ, then okay, I get it. Right? I do. Like it's that. But for anyone who's got any form of semblance of intelligence, it's because you're fucking afraid. It's because you're soft and you're scared and you can't take care of yourself and you can't protect yourself and you want mommy and daddy government to come do it for you. What kind of fucking conservative are you? Like that's the most liberal shit I've ever fucking heard in my life. That's as left as fuck, bro. Daddy government, please tuck me in at night because the big bad brown guy is gonna fucking steal me. What the fuck, dude? Shut the fuck up. Do you have balls? So no, it's that's a crazy reality right there. And I see a lot of that. That shit pisses me off because I don't like salt.
Our pets off fast.
Well,
What?
I don't like those that try to pretend like they're angry and tough, but it's all because they're afraid, you know?
I fought a lot of people like that when I was young.
Yeah.
They
Well, yeah,
thought they were tough, and I knew I was crazy. So usually, when
unfortunately,
tough,
social media has allowed a whole lot of keyboard warriors and people forget what it's like to be punched in the mouth. So,
that's also true. I did see a guy on the Twitter today, um, talking about like the hardcore base, like the hardcore. That's like, oh, now he's not going to deport him, and he's not going to do this, and he's not going to do this, and we've been betrayed. Now we got to do it ourselves. And they're
Oh,
like
yeah.
war, and he put like this is why the right would win the war, and it wouldn't even take very long. And it was very surface level, and he was correct on the surface. Like it's okay, true. But right now, a lot of those people are mad at you. So,
yeah.
um, two, like just things of that nature. Typically, they are more insecure, tough guys. That's not how he put it, but that's what it is. And I did comment. I'm like, that's like such a surface level understanding of it. Then again, you are megas, so I understand why you can only go to surface level. But like, there's a lot of other things that people don't realize. If that breaks out, I don't necessarily think it stays left versus right very long. As soon as the supply chains break down, it becomes territorial, not so much political. Like you got 20 million people in Chicago who are fucking hungry. It's going to be about Chicago. It's not going to be about left anymore. But if we do go left, right, we have the funds that you lack severely.
New
and
York and
we have
California,
and we have
that's enough right there.
people, like lots of them.
Yeah.
And so like, and I don't think that you have to be armed yesterday to be armed tomorrow. And I don't see the left marching into the holler to come get you either.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like where
They can
you
have all of Alabama.
yeah, where you have an advantage, we're not gonna come there. And if you try to come in the city, that's not gonna work out for you just as much as us coming to the holler ain't gonna work out for us.
Hmm.
And then there's so many caveats to it. And like, why do you want this to happen? Like that's my why the fuck do you want a civil war? Because at the end of the Civil War, regardless of who wins, America is fully lost.
Yeah, I mean
And China is now the absolute world superpower.
they're probably
Well,
gonna end up
They're
that anyways.
and
yeah,
but who's to say while we're busy fighting each other that some other mega power like that doesn't come in and just take complete control?
Oh yeah, I mean if we cripple ourselves, oh,
Right.
Russia's coming. That's one of the reasons why California needs to make sure that they're doing everything that they can to, stay independent and strong so that if they need to, they can protect us from a Russian invasion because if California loses its military strength, then they can gut the entire west side.
Oh yeah, pretty
to the
quickly.
mountains, to the mountains.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So no, it's definitely a wild, right? It's a wild. I don't know. I just don't know why you want the war. Like I don't. Who wants civil war? I don't
Big
want civil
Uh,
war.
think
those people are
power
what's that?
Yeah,
because they truly think that they will win it easily and have absolute power.
Yeah,
yeah.
they
That's
don't know
super.
what war really is, and they don't understand that the amount of crippling um horror that goes into fighting and seeing a battlefield, and so yeah, they think that they'll just flex their muscles and everybody will just give up. And
No.
Yeah.
huh?
And they're old. I don't think they realize that they're overweight and they're me. I don't want to go fight a fucking war.
No, we've talked
I'm
about
not.
this.
Yeah, my body's condition is in no condition to go fight a war. The only thing I got going for me is I have an absolute fucking Looney Tunes show go on inside my head, and I can just let that back out for the first time in 15 years.
Hmm.
And that'll probably carry me for a couple days. So, but
Until they
I
remove the
don't.
play.
uh, my
Yeah,
back hurts.
I just don't want to lose my country, and
Yeah.
I don't. Why do I want to kill other Americans? I don't want to kill anybody, not but I definitely don't want to kill Americans over politics.
Right.
Like we were built as a country to not do this. Like we were literally built as a country. You want to kill me over the guy that you named king?
Yeah.
There's
Yeah,
a
not
fucking
because
reason we don't do kings.
yeah.
Well, and when he got shot, we all said that this is absolutely not okay.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we said the
Not
same.
according to them, but yeah.
Right.
Well, but we podcast did, and we said the same thing about Charlie.
Yep.
Were we doing the podcast when he got shot?
Yeah, we were like, this shit's not okay. You don't,
Yeah, you're probably right.
you know what I mean? Like, and I know we all put something on Facebook about it too.
Yeah, no, yeah, it was on Facebook. We hadn't started the podcast
Yeah,
until after
I
it
didn't
was.
think we had the
Okay.
Yeah.
pod yet. Like I was
Yeah.
like, dude, we didn't have the pod till he was getting in
Yeah,
office or
it
getting
was it
elected.
was the week after inauguration.
It-
We
yeah,
did the same thing about Charlie Kirk, but
Yep.
then like we come out and say this shit ain't okay. You don't kill people over politics. And we've said that when their people have been killed or shot at, they don't
yeah,
say shit when it happens on our side.
I don't. So that's the other thing is I have seen large right accounts come out and say now that all the evidence is there and all the video angles are there and all this is there, they called them both murder. It's murder.
Yeah.
And if we want to be successful, we can't do this because this gives them the ammunition they need.
Right.
And it did. And it's like I don't know. I was having a conversation with somebody the other day and they were like, I just never feel important. And I was like, well, most people aren't important. And like I'm not important. And they're like, no, you are. You're like super important, like here. And I was like, yeah, okay. So in the little tiny scope of our
Yeah.
little job, I'm kind of important. However, in the large picture, that's not important. I was like, this dude got murdered. Now he's important. He had
Right.
to die to become important, but now he's important. I was like, and this dude who I don't like at all, he's the most important person in the world, and the whole world knows it.
Yep.
You don't, so like most people are insignificant, and I think that that's what they struggle with on the right so much is that they either they were always insignificant, and the MAGA movement gave them a gang-like sense of belonging,
Yeah.
or they peaked in high school and
Both.
they're trying to find that yeah, it's both, right? It's A and B. Like they want to find that peak back. So, but yeah, that's I don't know. So with midterms coming, I am seeing a lot of capitulation, which you've already brought up a bunch. But the other thing happening is like they didn't overfund DHS in this bill that he signed. Like they wouldn't pass it because Congress wasn't going to pass it. They said no, we're not
Yep.
doing it because
Yep.
they've realized we're going to lose our fucking seats if we do.
Yep. Exactly right.
Like the people are fucking mad. You shot somebody on live TV because everything is now on live TV.
Yeah.
So the press cycle's fast, ladies and gentlemen. Like there's in live time, there's 97 independent journalists with their little iPhones and Galaxies and Androids, like videotaping everything, live streaming it. What? Is that the
Galaxies
same
are
thing?
androids.
Well, I don't do loser phones.
Oh. You just
So there's
you pay an extra $500 for a half-eaten apple.
yeah, yeah, dude. You know why? Because Adam, bitch. Oh no, that was Eve. Yeah, there we go. Wrong. Is the rib.
I mean,
Anyways, no,
he
no.
ate it.
Hold
He
on.
ate it
What's the?
too.
Yeah, that's true. What's the other one? Google is it a Google phone? Is that what they're called?
There's Pixel or something like that.
Pixel. There we go.
Those are Android as well.
So it doesn't Google
There's
have a phone?
there's only two operating systems. There's the
iOS
iOS and
and Android.
Android.
Oh, okay. So Google phones are Android based.
Yes.
Well, how come I can get Google?
Obviously, Android is owned by Google.
Oh, that's not Samsung.
No. Oh Lord.
Oh, I got old, bro. I can't keep up.
But even I know the difference of those.
Dude, last graphics card I put in the computer didn't have 4 digits.
Oh,
So
that reminds me, I just bought a new graphics card for
yeah, I bet it's got more than four digits and it starts with more than a four. So
oh yeah.
but yeah, so I think we've reached that point, right, where they're realizing that they're going to lose midterms, and that's what a lot of it's for. And there's a lot of defection or resistance, and then Trump is capitulating in full. Yes, this was fantastic. She literally told the judge, "I can't get that done because this job sucks." In court, told the judge, I can't get this done because this job sucks. And then the judge said, maybe try complying with the orders and the job would get a little bit easier. And then she said, Could you find me in contempt so I can get a good night's sleep?
Yeah.
Wow.
I was fucking losing it when I read that story. She was like, "Get me the fuck out of here," because it's probably not her fault.
She
Like
said,
nobody has their shit
"Oh, I want."
together.
No, so I was looking. There have been over 4,000 resignations from the DOJ and NSC because of just the fact that they're not able to do the job that they signed up for. They're being asked to violate the Constitution on a regular basis.
I was say I know there was a lot within just the first couple months of this term because
Yeah.
they saw the writing on the wall from his first term and they're like, I ain't getting caught up in your stuff and going to prison.
Right, right.
So, and that's the
Yep.
other, I think that's the other line that, like, I don't want to see this happen either, right? But the more and more fascist shit you do, and the more and more America rejects it, and the more and more
Yeah.
it looks like the Democrats are going to take power long before you want them to,
Yeah.
what do you think they're going to do? But then I'm going to have to fucking spend 4 years doing this with you fucking assholes being mad at them for doing
Right. Well,
fascist shit.
and that's what I was gonna say is then, after he finally goes away, the next president is going to have to spend their entire term trying to put back together the federal government just like Biden did. So they're not going to be able to get anything done, just like Biden didn't. I even said that when Biden was elected was, I was like, good, we need a lame duck president that will just put put everything back together again so that the government can function.
Yep. Well, I mean, a lot of that happened in Obama's first term, even that
Yeah.
everything was so bad. He inherited a White House that was damn near filled to the ceiling of shit.
Yeah. And the economy was in free fall.
Yeah.
Like,
How many bailouts that he had to do just to prevent everything from absolutely crashing,
yeah.
and they expected him to fix it all on day one. And so from that point forward, they were like, oh, he didn't do anything. He's horrible, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, what?
Yeah. Well, and that's again, a lot of people just don't understand, the complexity around, you know, the the federal government and what it takes to staff, these offices that do incredible work. The fact that the Consumer Protection Agency has been dismantled, the all of the different groups that he's already dismantled that are going to cause long-term effects for especially the regular American later on that nobody is going to recognize until a couple of years from now.
Yeah.
While
No,
businesses are learning that they can take advantage of the EPA being gutted, it takes a while for that pollution to start to run downriver.
Yeah. So I saw an
Um,
article earlier today, speaking of like people breaking from the party and everything, that arguably the biggest well, I'll just say it, fuck it. The biggest cuck in America, uh, who wore the bullhorn hat or whatever on
oh
January
yeah,
6th, broke.
like
He,
he is broke or
no, he released some statement after he read some of the newly released documents
the
and
dude
broke.
who wore the fucking like looked like an
yeah.
Indian chieftain or some shit.
Yeah. No,
He,
he broke a couple of years ago. Like he released a statement saying that, he was fooled into following QAnon and that Trump,
yeah, no, the
had
reason he did it was all about Trump and the Epstein files.
mm. So he's just reaffirming the
Yeah,
fact that
I didn't know
yeah,
he broke from. Well, I think this was him actually. Like I know he stood out against QAnon and all that and said that what they did was wrong, but this
yeah.
fully breaking from, I don't know if it was MAGA or the Republican Party, but it was all in relation to the Epstein files.
Mm. Well, I know he's trying to stay relevant even after, his
He's
pardon
not
and
on
everything.
he's not on Twitter anymore.
Well, that's
Um,
because he's anti-Trump.
let's say his last tweet was in late 24.
I was going to say maybe it was it
So,
could have been an interview. It was a
oh
I had browsed through.
yeah, he's running for Arizona governor.
Oh, as Republican or Democrat?
I don't know.
I bet he's still trying to run as a Republican or an independent.
So he's
Yeah,
trying to make a name for himself.
independent.
Yep.
Yeah,
No,
and he has decisively rejected Trump.
yeah,
I mean, no, that's what's happening. They're bailing, bro. Like he's lost the pod bros.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like pretty much all of them.
I know MGT's been going ham lately.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
she's been,
because she's a smart hoe, bro, and she bailed she knew what was fucking coming, and she wasn't wrong.
yeah,
Mhm.
She's like
Well,
this because I think she not a fan.
right.
Gotta state that.
yeah.
Disclaimer, not a fucking fan. However, I think she actually was one of the ones who believed
Oh
all
yeah,
of
that's
these things are true, therefore it shouldn't be happening, and I will stand against it. And then when she realized most of these things aren't true,
yeah.
and I'm standing against the delusion, and I'm not fucking deluded
Right.
anymore. And I've made fuckloads of money and now have lifetime health insurance and retirement plan. I'm out of here
Yep.
because
Yeah.
I don't hate the player.
Yeah.
Okay. I hate the game.
Right.
Yeah.
And I don't hate her and the Bobert's quiet as shit now. Gnome is just staying as quiet as a little mouse right now because she's trying to avoid getting fucking Senator John. Dude, what did they? Dude, Thune was he's a beast for it. I don't like him, but he's a beast. He said the president called you like fucking stupid or stupid something, and they asked him about that. He goes, "Oh, so that means I'm qualified to be a special advisor to the president and run the HS?"
Yeah.
Nice.
Because it's true. Like, so
Mhm.
that's the thing. Like, you don't really want to fuck with senators too much because since Rome, they got this thing about them.
Yeah, where they will stab you in the middle of the floor if you step out of line too far.
Right. Like, at Brute. So, but no, it's, yeah, like, I don't know, bro. I don't, it's the magnificent collapse 1 year in.
Yeah.
Made it a little longer this time. Made it a little longer. But I think that the next move is we will start seeing people get removed from the administration.
Yep, they'll have to
It,
start doing
yeah,
some purging.
cabinet level advisors
Yep.
are going to be going, and he's going to do that. And now I think you put in there. He publicly said he wouldn't bag fans.
Yeah.
An article today that he had, I don't know if it was on a hot mic or that during that interview that they each had, but yeah, it was in quote, he flat out would not, or at this time could not support him as his successor. My mind immediately went to, yeah, because you're still talking to Bannon, planning on a third term.
He fired Bannon pretty quick the first time around.
Yeah, still talking.
Yeah, I think
And
yeah.
and that was an optics thing too.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah. Yeah, I think Bannon left, um he was willing to leave,
well, and he's
and
still,
he
and oh, we have a plan. you can't tell me a guy like him and what we know him as isn't at least talking to Miller, who is
Right.
at
Oh
least
no, for sure. Those two white national. I told you, bro. It's not Trump. Trump's too dumb for this.
Yeah. Yep.
It's just like the right. Like, okay, so this is their words, and I want to clarify. This is their words. They say that the Somalis in Minnesota have like 68 IQs. But then they also say that they have constructed this vastly elaborate plan using daycare centers and preschools to defraud the federal government out of billions upon billions of dollars. So are they Forrest Gump or are they absolute fucking geniuses?
Right. Right. Yeah. It
Like,
can't be
do you
both.
understand that the words coming out of your mouth do not go together? It is star peg, circle, hole. You cannot do that. Are you sure they have the 68 IQ? Like, somebody with a 68 IQ possibly wears Velcro shoes as an adult because they can't tie their shoes. Because loop, swoop, and pull is too tough. It's too advanced. But now they came up with elaborate ways to run daycares and defraud the government out of billions of dollars. What the fuck are you talking about? So, but yeah, they're all mad. Like the other thing they're big mad about is no one's been arrested. Well, because they didn't do anything illegal.
right.
Right.
It's a lie. When are you going to realize it was all a lie? They did things you didn't like, but it wasn't illegal.
Hmm.
So, all right. So some files came out. Do you have any like big one-offs from the files other than he's in there a lot?
Dude, it's a lot. Okay, so I mean, we could start there. So Jesus Christ
No.
is in the Bible 1,000 times. He is in there so far 38,000 times he's mentioned. So there are no mentions of Somalis or illegal immigrants or the Obama family or the Biden family, but there is mention of Clinton, but they're willing to testify openly in public because they know what they will expose and they know what those committees can hide behind closed doors that they can prevent the media from knowing. And they're willing to do it openly in public, which tells me they did nothing wrong. And that's now why he's starting to say nice things about Bill, because he's doing that whole butter him up. So maybe he doesn't say a whole lot about me. There have been, what I say, 3 million documents between photos, videos, and emails and such. And I've skimmed through because it's pretty tough to hear some of this stuff. About 400 pages so far. There's people from the royal family, people from the Norwegian royal family.
Yeah, but here's one of the things that I read about. I don't know if you shared it. I don't think you did, but is that a lot of those countries are opening up their own investigations.
And he's absolutely terrified it because they will not withhold. He is
Right.
freaking the fuck out about that shit.
Yeah. Yeah, and they're like there was a princess that was
It was the
involved.
Norwegian princess, yes.
Yeah, and like she came out and actually did what should be done by anybody that was mentioned in it. Did you guys see that Jon Stewart was mentioned in the Epstein files? But he came out and he actually made a statement, like,
Yeah.
I am in there, but it's because they are threatened by me.
My favorite thing this week about it, because I'm just not going to go into descriptive details of some of the stuff that I've read because it's absolutely appalling and not necessary.
Yeah.
But I'll just say we already knew he was in the files, and what things I have read are far worse than I ever would have imagined. Um, but he clearly doesn't understand how court works, as we've talked before about discovery. Is he's trying now to sue um, uh, Lemon, the late night host,
Oh, Don Lemon.
for a joke he made about the Epstein files. You know what's great about that is if you go to court, there's going to be a discovery to figure out where the basis of that joke came from.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess one thing that baffles me, and it shouldn't, is that all these foreign countries are real quick to act on people that are not just named. It's not oh, they were named in the files. It's they were in the files and specific details of what they did.
Right. Right.
Prince Andrew's already basically out of the royal family. He has no and was officially kicked out of the home that he was staying in and has lost all privileges of the royal family. I believe there was another country that had someone that they are already moving forward with prosecution of one of their high ranking officials. But we can't seem to even do anything really about any American that is in there. And it's we believed women after 30 years about Bill Cosby, and he was convicted.
Yeah.
But not about Trump Daddy. He could never. And do you guys know how Melania met Donald?
Yeah.
Jeffrey introduced her to him.
Yeah.
No, that's
Yep.
what best friends do, bro.
But they stopped talking in the late 90s. But he was just at his home in Florida before he ran for president.
Well, and he talked to him a couple times while he was president.
Yeah, so there's all kinds of things that are coming out in the files that they keep releasing that are, by no surprise, contradicting everything this man has said about everything. And I don't know, man. It's one of those where I know, this is a political show, and none of us like this man, and the Epstein files for the longest time have been about him and what's he in there and at what capacity and yada yada yada. And at this point, and I know we've always said, but I feel more so now than ever that I don't care what side of the aisle you're on. I don't care what country you're from. If you're named in there with any kind of proof of the disgusting things that you did, you need hung. Yeah. Yeah. Tax dollars going to giving you 3 hots and a cot and cable TV.
I think they get streaming services now. No,
Oh my God. They get their own they get their own tablets and shit.
Whatever. It's a whole lot cheaper for a couple of bullets or a rope.
That's true. That's true. So, all right. Well, it's going to be another interesting week next week. It is. So we're going to see where he goes from here.
Keep for what happens here in the next couple of days with Iran.
Yeah. Yeah. We definitely have to keep eyes on that. So, but we will return. Oh, he's sharing all his stuff at the end. He's got to get it in, get his pictures in.
You better put them in the notes.
No, we didn't even talk about that. What are you doing? What do you do? You can save that for next week. Don't put that in here. So I knew that was a thing. You can't just be scrolling the internet and find something late and throw it in there. So I knew that had come out today.
We didn't get to it.
You went first. So
I wasn't on topic.
Right. Fair enough. We can talk about the labor and stock, and we can do that next week for sure. So All right, excellent. Until next week, we are Bluebird on your shoulder.
See ya.